Hey, what's up, Primetime Squad? Come on in. Make sure you hit the like button. Share the live out. Hey. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the Housewives of Atlanta review. I'm just up here sharing the live. Somebody told me to text them the link to my YouTube channel so they can subscribe. So I text them the link. So hopefully they'll be able to tune in tonight. But anyway, y'all, how's everybody doing? I hope all is well with everybody. We are going to get right into this Housewives of Atlanta review. Sorry, I do apologize for being a little late. I was trying to find this show on the television to record that somebody had told me about. It's supposed to have been on 2020, and I couldn't find it on TV at all. And I was searching and searching and searching. I was like, oh, whatever. If it's meant for me to watch it, I'll find it later. So anyway, that's why I was late. But you guys need to definitely let me know how you feel about this latest episode of the Atlanta Housewives. A lot of things was going on in this episode, and a lot of things was really strange in this episode. Like, for one, let's see, where should we start? Where should we start? I think I want to start with Kenya. Let's start with Kenya. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Kenya. Last episode and the episode before that, she had definitely mentioned, her dissatisfaction, that her, I can't even fix my mouth to call this man her husband. Like, I know they said she's married, but it's like they're not acting married. Like, y'all tell me what y'all think, because this last episode just made me feel really like a lot of people have been saying, and I have been saying myself as well, that it seems like Kenya's whole marriage is just of convenience and just to get back on the show. And I know we keep hearing that and we keep mentioning that. And, is it true? Did her and that dude possibly get married just for, I don't get it, because I'm like, this guy doesn't even act like he's at the least bit interested in Kenya. I know he hardly sees his baby because he's out of town. He has his restaurants out of town, and Kenya's in the A. And so, I can imagine, not seeing your child for months at a time or weeks at a time, how excited you be when you see your child. But it's like, she's not even there. And everything she's saying to him is like it's going in one ear, out the other ear. I'm so confused. Like, what kind of relationship, Kenya, do you really got going on? Again, it seems like a big old marriage of convenience. What was just crazy was when, she was up there trying to fix him breakfast, and he mentioned something about Grubhub, and she was like, no, we're not Grubhub family, we're not a Grubhub family, but you ain't got nothing in your fridge. You couldn't even fix this man no scrambled eggs, no over easy eggs, no well done eggs. She had breakfast though. She had some pancakes, a little fruit on the side. But he definitely, that was a little shade definitely there, because has all these restaurants that he owns. He's a chef. He's own restaurants. And she has no food in her house at all. Like, all she got is Similac for the baby or whatnot. And I'm like, girl, quit acting like you can cook, because that's basically what he was trying to tell us. We already know she's not the kitchen type. She's not the kitchen type, but she claims she's the wife type. She's the baby mama type. She's the baby mother type. She's the every woman type, but she definitely ain't no kitchen type. So anyway, she managed to get him a little breakfast made, some little pancakes and some little bacon and some strawberries. But it was definitely so odd. It was kind of hard to watch when she had mentioned to him, it's all about the love. We gotta have love, as long as we have love. And he turned and looked at the little baby girl Brooklyn. He was like, yes, little Brooklyn, long as we have love, long as we have love. Like, and then when she tried to tell him, his birthday coming up, they should plan a trip, go somewhere really nice, have some quality time, he was like, without Brooklyn? He was like, without Brooklyn, you think me and you going somewhere without my daughter? And she was like, well, are we going to have a nanny? Or he's looking at her like she's crazy, and she's looking at him like, damn, we don't spend no quality time together. And she can't hardly talk either, because the way she was acting with her cousin, Shay, was that her name? Shay? No, that wasn't her name. I can't remember her name. I think it was Shay. When her cousin came to the house, well, anywho, when her cousin came to the house and she was trying to pick up the baby and everything, her name is Shay. That's right, because I have a cousin Shay. I should remember that. My cousin's name is Shay. But anyway, she was trying to pick up Kenya's baby, and Kenya was up there hovering, being the helicopter mom, which is not unusual for a lot of first-time parents to be a helicopter mom. But that too shall pass. Eventually it shall pass. But in the meantime, in between time, she was getting upset with her because she was trying to take the baby out of the walker without detaching the tray. And I'm like, girl, she up there. You could tell the cousin was offended. You could tell that she was offended, because she acted like she didn't want her to touch her daughter. She acted like she didn't want to take. It wasn't even all about the tray, because you can easily slip the baby out of the thing, And then like later, you saw where, when Mark was there, or not Mark, Mark, when he was there, she had like the straps on the baby or whatnot, but I don't think those straps was there the first time when her cousin was trying to pick the baby up. But anyway, she was acting real protective, and I could sense that her cousin, she was really like offended, like, girl, you act like I can't touch your baby. Now I know she's brand new to you and everything, but you know what I'm saying? So anyway, she gonna wish pretty soon. She gonna wish somebody. She had people lined up to watch that child when she want to do something, because she already talking about what's up with the nanny. When we gonna get a nanny? But anywho, y'all. Let's talk about Eva. Now, I was quite confused about Eva's little storyline, because of the fact, for not the last, was it the last season or the season before last? But anyway, Eva, remember Eva, when she had got married, when she was engaged, when she was due to get married, she had her bridesmaid. Remember that scene where her and her bridesmaid had like an issue? They had a little beef, and the bridesmaid was going off, and she was talking to the media, and she was spreading tea on Eva, telling people where she lived, because I guess it was really discreet, because of the fact that, as Eva says, her sperm donor must be allegedly abusive and she had to take out a protection order against him. And so the address was kind of like under wraps, and she claims it was because of that, and it was also because of the fact that her husband, now husband, then fiance, is a defense attorney. And I guess, defense attorneys could probably make a lot of enemies out there. So she talking about she needs security and everything, when they do find their house, their dream house. But she had mentioned then that I could have sworn that she said that Marlo was the one who had put the information out there. Now her bridesmaids had a lot of chitter chatter. Marlo got the information and Marlo had put it out there. That's what was said before. But now she's blaming it on Nene. So I'm like, how you go from Marlo to Nene unless something happened behind the scenes where she found out that it really was Nene who had gave the information to Marlo. But either way, she's up here looking for a new house and everything. And the house, I think they said it was 700. The one that she looked at, which was really nice, by the way, it was $775,000. A really nice size house. It had 5 bathrooms, 5 bedrooms. I mean, they said each bathroom had its own, each bedroom had its own bathroom. I'm like, so that's 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. That's a pretty nice size house. And most of her kids are still like small. She got the baby on the way, then she got the other kids, and then of course her husband, who how many is that? 1, 2, 3. I'm just thinking that's pretty nice size house for them. You would think 5 bedrooms. I'm sure it has a finished basement, a family room, not an arcade room, a game room. That's how big the house looked. But she was talking about when Cynthia asked her about her finances, are you sure you can afford this house? I was like, the shade, but she should be. Eva should be used to people shading her about her finances. Like the fact that they, were living in a small condo, and then she claimed they had to move right after Nene, Marlo, whichever one, brought the information to the forefront of where she was staying. And then they said she moved a few days later. So they've been still living in the condo life, which is cool. I mean, hey, a home is a home. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, apartment, home, condo, townhouse, house, duplex. As long as you got somewhere to lay your head at night, and you and your children are safe, warm, and you know what I mean, dry. But she's out there looking for a new house, and the house, she was like, it's nice and everything, but I don't know if it's big enough to grow into. I'm like, how many more kids you planning on having, Eva? You how old? And you talking about big enough to grow into? Now, I'm kind of thinking Cynthia might be right. Like, this house is too expensive for you. And what cracks me up is how these women be on these shows, not just this show, but be on these shows and they look at the most expensive houses online while they are recording and probably cannot afford the house by any means. Like 700, I don't know. I know you got your little money from the Housewives of Atlanta, and I know you do a little modeling, probably still, and your hubby, he's an attorney. But what gets most of these women in trouble is they be living beyond their means. So I don't know if Cynthia is right at her assessment. Like, are you sure you can afford this house? Maybe you need to, downsize before you even move in the house. But anyway, it was still a pretty nice house. I really thought it was a nice house. As far as Cynthia though, her and Nene, they didn't really show them together this episode, but they will next episode because we saw the previews. But her and Cynthia still seems to be at odds with each other, and it seems like it's been going on for a long time. I don't know if it's going to end. Cynthia has her new friend. Nene's still kicking it with Marlo. Who else is back? Tanya. Remember I used to say last episode, I'm Tanya, she's Tanya. Just because my name is spelled like hers, I'm Tanya, she's Tanya. And I was like, I need to make that quite evident, because Tanya wouldn't have been taking all that lip and all that aggressiveness and all that disrespect, that she took last season from Nene and whoever else. Tanya, see, that's Tanya, I'm Tanya. But anyway, Tanya's back, and Tanya's kicking it with Portia and Kenya. Kenya, I don't know. She need to find out if she really married or if she's not married. If she's married for convenience, if she's just married for convenience, she needs to just put it out there. Y'all need to go y'all separate ways and get a divorce, because it looks real ugly and real fake on air. When on these scenes, y'all relationship looks totally fake. Like, was he the donor or was you the donor? I mean, you know how some people treat they dude that they not with anymore. It's just they baby, that's my sperm donor. I'm like, he's treating her like she's the donor. Like, I just use you to have me a baby, and I have no more reason for you. But anyway, let's get back to Cynthia. Cynthia and them was getting ready, for the Pride event. Everybody's getting ready for the Pride event, actually. And she had actually, Eva had received a video of an interview that Nene had did on, was it Good Morning Hustle or Morning Hustle? And it was really shady, pretty much just like the messages that she had sent Cynthia for Cynthia to block her. Telling the people she's fake, Cynthia's weak, she's like the weakest link. She's a follower, trying to make it seem like she don't use her own mind. Just some very, very tasteless comments that she had to say about Cynthia. And not to say Cynthia hasn't had her share of words about Nene in the past either. They've both been slanging, negative things about each other, for a minute now. But Eva got that and she showed it to Cynthia, and Cynthia was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do me, like Mike said, this Mark and Mike. Like Mike said, don't let anybody steal your joy. Don't let anybody steal your happiness. Just go to the Pride, support your daughter Noelle, and her fluidness, aka flowing. Like Cynthia said, she told me that she was fluid, but I didn't know she was flowing. She's actually flowing. But anyway, just go support Noelle. Try to make it, the best event, just try to handle it really maturely. Stay in your happy place. Now, although Nene had a lot to say in the interview, and she was texting all that stuff to Cynthia, telling her she's weak and you're so sad and this Nene has been seeing a spiritual advisor, and I'm like, is it working? I don't know. Is it working? I can't tell yet. If it's working or not. But she talking about she's walking with the Lord now. And Marlo was up there telling her, basically, they trying to practice. Basically, Marlo's like, we going to practice. We going to, okay, if this happens, what you going to do? If that happens, what you going to do? Nene was like, I got this. Woosah. I'm walking with the Lord. I'm in touch with the Lord. My spiritual advisor taught me how to breathe and count backwards from 1,000 and, all this kind of stuff. But I'm like, we shall see, because, again, we didn't see too much of her and Cynthia together till the end. And that was when Nene had approached Cynthia on the float. Nene had walked from her location and walked over to Cynthia when she saw Cynthia, on the float. And it was like, hey, hi, and then that's when they cut it. I was like, man, I wanted to see Cynthia's reaction to Nene coming up the stairs on that float. But then also another thing, Andy Cohen, he was there, and he had said something to Nene about her, possibly getting upset because of the fact that on the playlist for the songs, one of the songs was Tardy for the Party. Na, 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 na. Tardy for the Party. Y'all remember that, right? Written by Candy for Kim. But anywho, Nene was like, I wouldn't be upset. Why would I be upset? I'm cool. Me and Kim is cool. We is cool now. So I'm like, what? Okay, when did this happen? Does that mean Kim might possibly come back on the show? Does that mean she might, have an appearance on the show, or maybe next season? I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people think they need to get rid of some of them women and they need to be replaced. One of them they think is Candy. I don't know. I like Candy. I don't know why people want to replace Candy. I like Candy. So please don't replace Candy. But anywho, I was like, damn, I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that moment when they was on that float together, but we gotta wait till next week. But as far as Tanya goes, when she went to visit, when Portia went to visit her, now you remember Tanya. She used to be Nene's friend. Nene flipped out on her, went off on her, started treating her like a bald-headed stepchild. Then she started hanging around. I think she started hanging around Cynthia, and now she's hanging around Portia. I didn't even expect her to come back. After these few episodes, I didn't expect her to come back because of how it all went down last episode. I don't even know if I would have came back the way that I was so horribly treated, by the main person of the cast last season. I'm surprised Tanya is back. But again, I hope that she's a little bit stronger and a little bit more prepared this season than she was last season, because last season, it seemed like she just got walked all over, disrespected, shaded, everything. And she just took it. And kept on. I'm like, nope. I don't care if my friend is Nene Leaks or not, but nope, all that stuff she was taking from her. Nope. Couldn't be me. But she's back. So I'm looking forward to next episode to see, what her storyline is going to be on the show. So far, it looks like her and Portia are really cool. That they're going to be friends, and Portia probably, be opening up to her, as one of her, besides her sister. And, I think she's opened up to Candy, but Portia needs somebody right now. Portia's going through a lot, and maybe Tanya is perfect for her. I think Tanya's a really sweet person. That's why I hated the way Nene treated her last season. That was so hard to watch, the way she was disrespecting her and being mean to her so-called friend, so-called good friend, as she said when she first introduced her to everybody. But hopefully, things will work out with Portia, because she is now seeing a counselor as well. Nene's seeing a spiritual advisor. Portia, she's seeing somebody. Even what's her name? Even Kenya. She's gonna be seeing it's like 3 people on the show. 3 people on the show that are either seeing counselors or marriage advisors or spiritual guidance people or whatnot. But anyway, whatever works. But Portia, she needs somebody in her circle right now to keep her cool, because she seemed to be breaking down. She wants to work, but because of their child so small, I guess she sounds like she doesn't want to maybe put her baby in childcare, or I don't know, get a nanny, or I don't know, because it's like, these people, they have all this money, and she's talking about, I want to work, but I can't work because I got my baby. And I'm like, average females work with 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. Every day you find a way, you go to work, you find somebody to watch the kid, but I to each his own with their kids and who, what they, choose to do with them. But her and Dennis, it just seems like I want happiness for Portia, but it's like, although Portia has been longing for the marriage, longing for just like Cynthia, longing for the marriage, just like Kenya, longing for the marriage. Everybody on here wants to get married and, have kids and whatnot. But sometimes you make these rush judgments. And I keep picturing back to when Candy was trying to tell her certain things last season. And Portia was always getting upset with her and cursing her out and snapping at her. And don't tell me that you're a hater and you just don't want to see me happy and all this kind of stuff. When Candy was trying to tell her what the streets had said about her man. And then, lo and behold, he been cheating on you all through your pregnancy. And she talking about when, how? It literally only takes seconds and minutes to cheat. I don't know when women is going to learn that. He could be sleeping with you tonight and on the way to work in the morning. He could be stopping somewhere in the projects, and kicking it with some side chick for a good 30 minutes before she has to go to work. Then he has to work. She has to work. He stopped by on the way home, on his way picking up you some bread and milk from the stove. I mean, it takes no time to cheat or have a second relationship. I really hate that she's going through what she's going through, but you live and learn, The thing about it, though, the difference between her and Kenya versus Portia and Dennis, it seems like Portia and Dennis' relationship was really genuine, and Kenya and her man, her husband's relationship was not ever genuine, ever. Remember last season, he didn't ever want to be on the show. He didn't ever want. Now all of a sudden, you wants to be on the show and everything, but you don't seem like you want to be on the show with her. Like you want to have your own storyline with you and your little baby Brooklyn, and you want Kenya over here having her own little storyline by herself. I don't know. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think about that. That's crazy. That's just crazy. One thing I wanted to mention was about Candy. Candy and Todd. Y'all know I love me some Candy. But when they started discussing what people been talking about in the blogs about Todd and him going to the strip clubs and drinking and kicking it with her daughter Kayla, I know some people, they be like, you do what you do. I try my best not to judge people. When it comes to their children, I'm not the one to be like, you should do this or you should do that way. You have to do whatever works for you in your home. You know what I'm saying? But when I heard that in the blogs, and then they started talking about it tonight, well, not tonight, but last night on the show, and Todd was like, ain't nothing wrong with it. I kick it with my baby girl. I drink with my baby girl. We throw the dollars up for my baby girl. We make it rain with my baby girl. I'm like, I wish my husband, who is my daughter's father or stepfather or godfather, would take her up into the strip clubs and be kicking it. And I don't want to say take her up in the strip clubs, but for one, Kayla grown. Kayla is grown. If she wants to go to the strip club, that's one thing. But that's like me going to the strip club with my son. Like, why would I want to go to the strip club with my son and hang out with him and his friends at the strip club while they're looking at some female? I don't get it. But everything isn't, Candy and her, they're not the traditional family. Candy, she's really out there, really exotic, really open-minded, really, and I guess Todd is too. But I'm like, if my daughter wanted to go to the strip club, let her go. I might even let you borrow some ones. I might let you borrow some ones, but you better bring me back my money plus interest. Bring me back something from the strip club now. But for real, I thought that was crazy. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about that. One thing Todd mentioned that I thought was really funny. Candy and him was discussing, their surrogate mother. Her name is Shadina, and at the time of this taping, she's 19 weeks along, and she was discussing with him, about Shadina and them going to the hospital and have an appointment. The ultrasound coming up soon, all that. And Todd was like, remember last season when he kept on talking about, can he touch the stomach? Can he touch the baby, the stomach? Can he touch her? And Candy was like, no. What? And he was like, well, why not? My baby's in there. And he mentioned that again. He mentioned that again last episode. Like, can he touch the baby? Like, is it wrong for him to want to touch the baby, to touch not the baby, you know what I mean, but touch her stomach, the surrogate mother who's carrying the baby? Do y'all think that's odd for him to want to do that? Or do y'all think that's normal for, I think if I was having a baby and it was another lady carrying it for me, and she would tell me, oh, the baby's kicking, I think I would want to feel. I think I would want to touch. I don't think I would be upset if my husband wanted to touch too. That's like such a special moment, to feel your child kicking and moving and rolling around. I'm like, Candy, he ain't gonna molest the lady. Let him feel the little foot, kicking the side of her stomach. Let him feel the little foot, the little elbow, the little back, the little knee. Them kids, when they inside, they be doing all kind of cartwheels and everything going on in the stomach. But do y'all think that's odd? Let me know, if she's tripping by not wanting him to touch on that girl's stomach. But we shall see, because next episode, they're going to had the ultrasound, and Candy was there, Todd was there, her little son was there, to see the ultrasound. And maybe while they're there, maybe she'll grant Todd permission to feel the stomach of the surrogate mother, if the baby's kicking. I ain't just saying walk up to her, let me rub your belly, girl, let me rub, but if the belly is kicking, if the baby is kicking, because again, it's a special moment. And this will probably be the last child they might have, I don't know, with Candy, but this might be the last child that they'll have. And, I don't know. Something like that would seem really important to me, especially since I had 2 kids myself and knows what it feels like to feel them kicking and moving around in your stomach. But anyway, again, y'all let me know if y'all on Ty's side or if you on Candy's side, when it comes to that. But this episode, I'm glad to find out also that Greg is totally cancer free. Because I know him and Nene, they went through a lot. They already had issues, before he had cancer, before they found out he had cancer. They had already, had issues before that. And then when he had the cancer, they was kind of like, at a rough point in their relationship. And people was like, if Nene leaves him, that's messed up. And, should you stay with your man if they sick, even though you already like having so many issues? And Nene was thinking about, possibly divorcing him, moving out, all that. She ended up, her and him ended up sticking it out, staying together, working through it and everything. And I'm really glad they did, because he come out cancer free. Now imagine if they would have separated again and she would have got a divorce and all this, and then come back and he's cancer free. And it's like, okay, he might feel like, well, shoot, you left me when I was down, you kicked me when I'm down. You know how it is. When you're already going through something and you already at the lowest point in your life and somebody just walks out on you, like, don't kick me when I'm down. But I'm so glad that it worked out for them. He's totally cancer free. And, they're up here doing like infomercials and everything for the Cancer Society. She's an ambassador for the Cancer Society. And when she was telling her story, like when the person interviewing her was saying, what was the hardest part for you? What was the hardest part for you? And Greg mentioned a lot of things, that are really important in relationships, like shutting up more, listening more, being a little patient, just simple things like that a lot of people have trouble doing in a relationship. But anyway, I'm glad they worked things out. And even if they didn't, I'm really glad that Greg is cancer free, because that is really, 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 really scary. That's really scary. So I'm glad to hear that about them too. Again, I'm looking forward to next episode to find out how this little pride event is going to end up, with Cynthia and Nene both there. And being that they have been putting a lot of negative things about each other in the social media. So I cannot wait till next episode to see, what's going to become of them, and, them on that float. Hopefully nobody will try to throw each other over, especially with Eva there. Eva, she big as a house, pregnant, big old belly and stuff, and she's with them. So hopefully they will keep their hands to themselves. Don't be trying to throw nobody off them floats and things. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Let me know what you thought about as far as Eva and her house situation, about excuse me, about Kenya and her husband, about Portia and her man. But really let me know what you think about Kenya, because again, that everything about that just screams fake, 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 fake. Not saying that she had a fake marriage or that they lied about their marriage, but just it seems like it was just like just set up, like just arranged for maybe her to have a baby, or maybe him to have a baby, or maybe for her to get back on the TV show. It just seems really, I don't know. It just don't seem right. But anyway, y'all, make sure you like the video. Make sure you share the video. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bells so you can receive all my notifications when I go live or when I upload. Thank you so much, Primetime Squad. And in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Deuces.